Welcome to another episode of What Did I Miss with Dennis Styles. On this show, I'll be covering all this stuff not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth, from movies and gaming reviews to movie and gaming news to anime, comic books, and anything else I feel like yapping about. Episodes drop weekly. All right, smooth intro. Great. Man, it's been real crazy and hectic, bro. No cap. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, still, you got to keep it pushing. I mean, of course, it's a little easier on this end, but just continue to do what you do. I don't know what that this intro was. Jesus. Let's just into it though. So this week, unfortunately, we'll be getting into another round of massive layoffs in the gaming industry, which is I just hate talking about, but it's just so crazy what's happening and what's unfolding in the gaming industry. So like I don't know. I don't feel forced to talk about it, but it's just crazy, bro. It's hard not to talk about it, you know? But on a brighter note, it just in line for this my interests, you know, and the stuff I talk about. It's just I'm always talking about games and whatnot when there's news. Whatever. Anyways, but on a brighter note, the new logo for Superman's emblem logo was revealed by James Gunn, so I'll be getting into that. And there was some very fun casting news that came out shortly after that, I think like a day or two after that logo reveal, which is very fun, and I can't wait to get into. Also, there was a trailer for Onepunch Man season 3. Been waiting on that, my boy. Big fan of the manga, so I'm really excited to talk about this trailer and when it drops and whatnot, whatever. And the main topic for this week is Dune 2, bro. Oh my goodness, we'll get into it, bro. But it's some heat. There will be time codes below, so feel free to jump around to whatever part you want to. If you want to go straight to the Dune review, or if you want to go to any piece of news, whatever the case, time codes below. But what did I miss last week? I didn't even mention, bro. I read Ultimate Spider-Man issue 2. I don't know why I didn't mention that, but another fire entry into the Ultimate Universe. Super solid continuation of the Ultimate Spider-Man story. I'm really just loving that comic so much. I'm still, bro, it's been slacking, lollygagging. We'll get into it in Pondering My Orb, but just been lollygagging on the editing for my video for that comic. And honestly, I just really need to get on it because that's some other stuff in the pipeline that is, I really want to get out. It's not time sensitive, but you still want to get it out. But yeah, I really loving that comic. I didn't even mention it. I was sloughing. My fault, but who cares? And then also last week I was talking about the live action Naruto movie and how I was I'm like super excited, but I'm willing to check it out and whatnot, see what it's hidden for. But what didn't really pop in my head was then later someone pointed it out on Twitter, was how much are they going to adapt of the Naruto movie? So it's like, are they gonna try to fit all of Naruto Part 1 into one movie and do the Chunin exams and fucking the Gaara shit, the Sasuke shit, Orochimaru, all that shit? Like, are they gonna try to cram that into one movie? Which if they do, that's gonna be buns, bro. Buns bonanza, no cap. They definitely, which they are gonna do. Like, they're not gonna spend, especially if they have to cast like younger for Naruto. They're not gonna spend multiple parts or multiple movies into splitting up part 1 of Naruto, which is unfortunate. It definitely would work better as a series, for sure. What I was trying to say, I'm just thinking of, like, my brain is turning just how much is in Naruto Part 1 to cram in, and what would they have to skip, and like, yeah, that kind of really just killed my hype for the movie. I wasn't hyped to begin with, but that just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth going forward, because it's a Hollywood movie, bro. They're gonna try to cram everything into Naruto Part 1 into the one movie. Like, optimistically, I see 2 at most. Like, definitely not getting would it need three? Bro, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of story. No cap. Is it? Hold on. Let me look. I don't care that much. And also I was talking about the Yeet album last week, 2093, and I said it wasn't really my cup of tea, and it was like kind of hard to get through or whatever. I'm not gonna go over my thoughts on Yeet. I mean, I fuck with him for the most part, but yeah, you can go listen to that. But anyways, from last week. But I did not mention. I don't think I mentioned that it had really good production, like the way the songs, like some of the songs flowed into each other, the beats and like just everything. It was really well produced and whatnot. And I don't think I mentioned that. And like although it's not my cup of tea, you could recognize other valuable qualities about stuff in general, but specifically about that. But let's get into this news, my boy. Let's get jumping straight into the Superman Legacy logo. Um, let me pull it up. Actually, let me see. So it's actually okay. Yeah. Let's get into this because I actually did have a bit to say about it. So it's the Kingdom Come logo, which James Gunn has been low key heavily teasing. Kingdom Come stuff, like literally. So if you don't know what Kingdom Come is, I'm not gonna act like an expert. After this logo dropped, I went and read Kingdom Come. It's only 4 issues, and basically it's Superman and basically twice. It's Superman and the other heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, and all of them, Flash, Green Lantern. They're all retired after the fact. So basically, the public was clamoring for more violent superheroes and more like anti-heroes that would actually kill villains and whatnot. And because one of the villains, I'm kind of like spoiling it, kind of. But this is just like the general premise. Like, I'm not gonna give story beats and whatnot, but the newer age heroes were coming in. They were killing some of the classic villains, and the public was fucking with it because it's like these people are killing hundreds of people, and they just go to jail and get back out or break out, whatever the case, and do the same thing. Like, they need a permanent dirt nap. You feel me? So that kind of made the Superman in particular question his morals and whatnot, and just he went into hiding, and it's about bringing hope back into the world and what it was really solid. No cap, it was no cap. But anyways, James Gunn has been heavily hinting towards stuff. I'm not necessarily. Well, it remains to be seen, but like not necessarily. Oh, we're gonna go Kingdom, because Kingdom Come is like, I would say it's an end game like type of story. Like, they're much older. Batman is in this robotic like exoskeleton suit. Everyone's graying and losing hair and whatnot. They're a lot older, so it's like an end game type of story. So basically, I keep talking about the James Gunn thing and I keep getting sidetracked. So a while ago, I don't know if that was official, but when it was early, I mean, still early in the DCU, but it was super early in the DCU. He posted a Kingdom Come photo, and it was like, him basically like saying he's like meeting and strategizing and whatnot. But it was like it was a photo of like all the heroes around a table and whatnot. And it was from Kingdom Come. People thought like, oh, it's just him being cool. Like, he likes Kingdom Come. It was a fitting picture for what he was talking about or whatever. And I think he posted a Kingdom Come Superman logo, but I wasn't sure if that was real or not. But they had a table read recently with all the cast members, and the Kingdom Come logo it was in black and silver, like yeah, and it was on there, and people are like, oh, is this speculating as if there was the Kingdom Come logo, and a bunch of people were like, no, it's not. Like, he was just probably liked that logo and was just used as a placeholder, but that was not the case, my boy. Jesus Christ, yap, just to say that the Kingdom Come logo is I've said that a lot. Jesus, Kingdom Come is the main logo going forward, but instead of, and I like the logo, I like it for the most part, and I just have to see more of it. There's like this yellow border around it that kind of doesn't look too appealing from the photo, but then I've seen some, art of people like since this reveal of people drawing the logo and seeing it front, because the picture's kind of like tilted to the side a little bit, so it's not like a head-on photo, and then it's also not the full thing. So people have drawn the full thing clear, and from the stuff I've seen, I really like it, like seeing the full picture of it. But again, that's just people drawing that. Is not necessarily the case. And I really like the texture on the suit too. It kind of looks like a football or like a basketball, but I think it'll look good once it's pulled back and whatnot. Um, but yeah, so is Kingdom Come the end game from James, or a variation of Kingdom Come? Is that the end game for James Gunn's DC universe? Which I mean, I'm down to see, to be honest. Or is just the vibe of Kingdom Come is what he's going for? Because I also seen like this cool breakdown on Twitter. It was someone on TikTok was saying, so basically like how I was saying Kingdom Come is Superman and other heroes bringing hope back into the world and like getting people away from anti-heroes, and like, that's not the route to go and whatnot. Is that the breakdown was basically saying, is that what Superman Legacy is going to be? That's not the title of the movie anymore. It's just Superman, but I'll get into it. Is Superman Legacy, is it going to be something like that? Because a lot of people love like anti-heroes these days, and that and that just seems to be, especially in the Superman. That's what I'm trying to say, in the Superman world of, well, not like the Superman world, but Superman. Like you have Homelander, he's like an anti-Superman. Omni-Man's like an anti-Superman. Like you're getting these more anti-Superman takes, or darker takes on Superman. Like even Zack Snyder's Superman, like killing people or killing Zod and whatnot. You're getting like these, and I'm not saying like Zack Snyder's take is completely like anti-Superman, but it's not the, for the most part, not the like the bright. There's hopeful feelings in that movie, but it's not like bright and colorful and whatnot per se. And so is that like what Superman Legacy is gonna be? Is like the new, like old school bright, strong moral anti-killing type, compass and whatnot. I don't know. That was kind of yap right there. But yeah, like I said though, Superman Legacy got a title change to just Superman, which I like a lot. I didn't dislike Superman Legacy, but just a clean Superman, no subtext or whatever they call it, just clean Superman. That's so tough. And I've seen this point floating around, just like it kind of like marks the new coming of the DC universe and whatnot, and it just, bro, I keep saying, bro, this movie really has potential to be like the definitive Superman movie, like going forward for a while until someone does it again, does it better, I guess. I mean, we haven't seen anything, but just the way it's headed, and just like not even like, oh my god, this is the best piece of Superman content type of shit, but like before this, you get Man of Steel and like Superman Returns, and I don't really think those like ushered in the new age of like Superman. Like for what I'm saying is like, is what the fucking Matt Reeves, fucking Jesus Christ, the older like 90 or 87 Superman movies. What the fuck? I just like, I'm blanking on the names of the people involved for some reason. Hold on. I'm like having a brain fart. The 78, my fault. With fucking Christopher Reeve, Jesus Christ. And like Richard Donner, right? Is the director. Yeah, Richard Donner. I don't know why like I was blanking on those names, but I'm saying, like, my dad showed me those Superman movies, and I'm like, oh shoot, that's Superman, right? And then like the animated shows, and like, oh, that's Superman. But like when Superman Returns came out and whatnot, that wasn't like a definitive Superman movie. That was kind of just like whatever, and it had like kind of, I think, poor reception, if I'm not mistaken. I was pretty young. I mean, I liked that movie when I was growing up, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like I'm fucking inspired by this movie, or like this is like hard hitting. It was like kind of meandering for the most part. I talked about this movie before, but and the Man, it still comes out, and that still wasn't really like, that had really like mixed receptions from like the fans and whatnot. And I'm not even saying like the fans, all of the fans have to like the new Superman movie, but it's just like that didn't really feel like a definitive Superman like movie. Like it was still decent for the most part, but I feel like this Superman movie coming up has the potential to just be like something like, oh damn, I show my kids like, oh, this is Superman type shit. You know what I mean? That's what I just feel with this movie, and I'm very, very excited for it. And if it's fucking shit, I'm gonna shed a tear, no cap. That is cap. But yeah, it would just be very disappointing if it is bad, which I don't think it will be. Like, I don't think it will be bad. At the very, very like worst case scenario, I think it'll just be okay. But yeah, we had some casting to not go along, but shortly after a couple days after the Superman logo reveal and the name change, we have Wendell Pierce has been cast as Perry White in what editor, like what, chief of the Daily Planet or whatever, the news firm that Clark Kent works at. But this is such very, very, very fun casting. If you don't know who Wendell Pierce is, he's in The Wire. I think he's like in Suits. I haven't seen Suits, but he's a very, very well known actor and very classic actor. He's, you know, excuse me. Um, the memes floating around like she, like he's that guy, like the black guy saying that shit. That's him. And so the last Perry White was in live action was Lawrence Fishburne, which was really fun as well too. I really like that casting in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel and Justice League. That was super fun casting. So this is just continuing fun casting of Perry White. So yeah, and then he wasn't, so there was some like uneasiness because he wasn't at the table read, and he could have just have not been cast or what, or he just wasn't in the photo, like, 'cause they all took like a photo together, like all the cast at the table read. And basically a table read is like they read over the script or whatever, and so and like, you know, play their parts per se, just at the table. And so he wasn't in the photo of them taking the photo after the fact, after the table read or whatever, whenever it was. So people are speculating again. He could have been in the photo because he wasn't cast yet, or the casting wasn't revealed and they didn't want to, you know, spoil it before the official announcement. But people are like worried, because possibly worried, since he wasn't at the table read, does he not have like that big of a part in it, which is worrying, because Jesus Christ, keep repeating myself. That's the case. People were, I'm trying not to say worried because, but I gotta say it. They're worried because there's so many non-Superman characters in the movie, and they're like, is this gonna be a story with Superman? Because there's Superman's like supporting cast and like the people in his stories, and then there's people in the DC universe, like, you know, other heroes and whatnot, which are all, you know, characters he interacts with, but that's not his core cast of characters, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. And so they're worried about the balance of that. Like, is this going to be just all that, or is it just actually going to be, you know, people that Superman should be interacting with? So that's, I guess, I mean, that's not, again, that would kind of suck to me, but like, again, I mean, not again, but that's not like the biggest deal to me. Like, okay, yeah, it sucked we didn't see a lot of other Superman characters, but, you know, oh well, I guess. I guess because I'm just not really. I fuck with Superman. I've been getting into like his stuff more and more lately. But I'm just not like super super tapped into like who he interacts with. Like, I know the basics, but it's like, as long as you got like Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, like, to me that's all right. I mean, and then extension, you know, I would want to see Perry. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention about Perry White. He was really fun in My Adventures with Superman. I really liked him in that too. But yeah, like if Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, like that, I'm cool. Monpon Kent, that's who hasn't been cast yet, which is a little worrisome. So yeah, I hope we get to see who plays them soon. But yeah, like if you have Monpon Kent, Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, like I'm Lex Luthor, like I'm pretty chilling. Like above that, like, you know, you get like people in his, like, in, I was about to say, well, it's in Kansas, right? Smallville. Like Otis, I think that he's been cast, so it's like people in his town, like Lana Lang. Yeah, I just know these characters, like more of his background characters from Superman for all seasons or whatever. But yeah, anyways, next piece of DC news. So I said this a couple weeks back, that because there was like a rumor, someone asked James Gunn, like, out of these, it was like a handful of movies, which is the fake one, or are these all like being in development or whatever. He said, I can tell you like one of these is fake, and it was like Teen Titans, Plastic Man, something else, and then like some obscure character like Sergeant Rock or some shit. I was like, yeah, out of all these, it's probably Sergeant Rock. I mean, I wouldn't like put it all the way out the picture, but it's probably that. So I was like, it would be super cool to have a Teen Titans film in development. And apparently, one is in the work at DC, and this is from Donald Richman. Of course, take this all with a grain of salt. But yeah, that would be so. That's just a little bit more like confirmation, not even confirmation, but some more speculation around the Teen Titans movie, which is cool to hear. Cool to hear. That's it for the DC news. So Jesus, I almost had a cool segue. Segue into what the fuck am I trying to segueing into some MCU news. Tim Blake Nielsen will have a more comic accurate look as the leader in Captain America 4. I think people, this is from him. I think people are going to be pretty excited about what this guy looks like and what he has to say and what he does. So, Tom Blake Nielsen, he played the guy in Incredible Hulk, the one where he fights Abomination. He played the guy that Bruce Banner was going back and forth with, and that was helping him trying to cure himself. And then, like at the end of, or during like the third act, Hulk was transformed, or no, Abomination was transforming. I'm pretty sure, and in the guy's lab, and then during his transformation, he like knocked the guy over, and then the guy had an open wound on his head, and Hulk's blood, I think Hulk's blood was dripping on his head, and his head was starting to like get bigger and get disfigured. And if you don't know who the leader is, he's a Hulk villain. I don't know a lot about him, but instead, so like I said, he was like, I don't know if this is how he was made in the comics, like getting Hulk blood like dripped on an open wound on his head. But instead of being like, he's green, but instead of being a hulking monstrosity with insane power, he has a fat ass dome piece like Megamind, and his powers in his brain, and so he's hella smart. And so I don't know like his whole deal per se. I don't like know what his main motivations are. I don't know like what his goal is. Are he's trying to make a world full of green people, green Hulk army, or what? I don't know what his deal is exactly. But I've been ever since that happened though in the Incredible Hulk back in 2008. That's been so like that. So Captain America 4 is bringing a lot of that stuff into continuity, and they've been slowly pulling stuff from Incredible Hulk. They pulled the Abomination out. He was in Shang-Chi. He was in She-Hulk, and then we're getting the resurgence of Thunderbolt Ross. And wait, was he? Oh yeah, he was. They pulled him in, for Civil War stuff, and I think he was in maybe some stuff before then, maybe not. But he's being played by a different actor now, Harrison Ford. But they're bringing him in and gonna do Red Hulk, which wasn't an Incredible Hulk, but they're still continuing the Thunderbolt Ross stuff. But yeah, so seeing that, and I think there's something else in this article that I wanted to touch on, but yeah, getting a comic accurate leader, that's gonna be so lit. I hope they don't see. I hope they don't fudge it up like MODOK's design. MODOK's design wasn't like completely not comic accurate. It was just, I mean, it was and it wasn't. Like it got the basics for the most part, but they just didn't commit to it all the way. So I hope it's not that case and they really lean into it. But let me look at this article real quick because I think there was something else I wanted to pull from it. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So I didn't know. So I guess there was a tie-in comic to the Incredible Hulk, but apparently, because like I said, they've just been pulling stuff from the Incredible Hulk universe. Well, not universe, but it's always been the MCU. But it was like not really reference to. It was like kind of it wasn't up in the air, but it was like what's canon, what's not from this story, and whatever. But it seems to be like a lot of it they're going forward with, especially like with bringing the Netflix stuff and then also getting the rights back to Hulk and whatever the movie rights. But anyways, there was a tie-in comic, and to say what happened to the leader in the Incredible Hulk, apparently Black Widow came and put him into Shield custody, and so I didn't know that. So I guess he's just been chilling with Shield. I don't know if that will be continued though from that comic or whatever. Or are they gonna, just since a lot of people, this is my first time hearing of it, and I'm a MCU head type shit, so it's like MCU head. But yeah, it's my first time hearing of it. So are they just gonna do something else, or he's just been in Shield custody in secret this whole time, and he gets busted out or whatever the case, or what Shield is right now. Maybe they like release him out. I don't know. But yeah, it seems like Captain America 4 though, speaking of, is in the fucking blender right now. So this is by Daniel Richmond. So I guess again, uh take this with a grain of salt. But they reportedly cut the Serpent Society from Brave New World as villains. And I guess Seth Rollins, the wrestler, was gonna be like the main leader. I don't know who the fuck the Serpent Society is at all. I'm gonna keep it a bean. But apparently they're looking for new characters to replace the Serpent Society. So it's just like there's massive reshoots with Captain America 4. So it's just like, will this movie even be fucking coherent? And it kind of sucks that this is the one Captain America movie that gets put in the fucking blender. And it's Sam Wilson and stuff. And yeah, it's like, damn, can we just get this man's been missing from the universe for a minute. Like, he got introduced at a fucking show and we haven't seen not a word, not a peep of him since goddamn when Falcon and the Winter Soldier in fucking 2021, 3 years ago, my friend. So it's just like, Jesus. Yeah. So is this movie even gonna be good? I mean, this movie, what had me jazzed about it, which is the fucked up part, and again, it's in this blender, and then it's full of fucking Hulk characters. We're apparently getting Red Hulk, which is cool as shit. We're getting the leader, which is cool as shit. And then it's just like the things that I'm excited for with this movie is not even Captain America, not one bit. Like, I just want to see the Red Hulk. I want to see that in live action, what that looks like in his power set. I want to see what the leader is gonna look like. So that's just what I'm looking forward to, which kind of sucks. So it's just like you bog down this Captain America movie with all these outside things, and then apparently it's getting massive reshoots, and then whole villain groups and fucking story beats and action beats are getting reworked and whatnot. So it's just like, god damn. Will this be a coherent piece of work, or this will be a fucking pound of slop? I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say, but anyways, this last piece of hold on, no, I guess yeah, last piece of MCU news: Ray Winston, which he played the leader of like the Red Room in Black Widow, which you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, he played the guy who ran the Black Widow stuff in that movie. So he says being in the MCU was that's why this is, because bro, they put and that was not grammatically correct. I'm not like super big on like being grammatically correct, but it was just fucking up. But being in an MCU movie was soul destroying because producers wanted him to tone down his performance. He tried to quit his role as a Black Widow villain, Dracoff. Oh, that was his name, Dracoff. I forgot that nigga's name. That's whatever. When they asked for reshoots but couldn't because of contract obligations. He said, "I'll end up in court. It's like being kicked in the balls." And so again, with movie performances and like directing and whatnot, it's your job. Like if a actor is like, that's not the performance that is gonna fit the story. Like you reel it in, or if they need to go harder or tone it up, like they'll say that. But there's all like nuance to that. But then this just goes into like, why didn't you let him just ham it up? Why didn't you just let him go crazy? Because that movie, I forgot the nigga's name. Like, he's just so, and then he had to smell shit in the movie. Like, that's how he wasn't able to get attacked, because the pheromones that they were smelling weren't able to let him attack. So he just had like a dumb kind of like nothing role, generic ass role in it. So it's like, why not let him be grand and like grandiose and whatever, and just really lean into it and make that at least like for instance Matt Smith and Morbius, like not, and just let him have fun, and then he's clearly having fun with the role, and that's gonna make the audience have fun like with the performance. So it's just like, if that would have been a saving, not like it would have saved the movie, but that would have been at least a saving grace of that movie, at least a shining light. Oh, okay, that movie kind of sucked, but at least this villain's performance, it was really fun. And so it's like, I'm saying, like, what if fucking James Gunn told Chickwoody, I really want to say his name, Chickwoody, Chickwoody Iwuji, who played the high. So what if James Gunn told Chickwoody Iwuji, fuck, I'm not laughing at his name. I literally looked it up, pronounced it right, and then I fucking stumbled. Anyways, what if he told him, who played the fucking, what is his name, High Evolutionary, to tone down his role, but fucking I don't know, like, what if he, like, specifically, like, told him, but, like, he was grand and, like, and big and, like, and loud with his performance, bro. And that was a standout performance in the movie. Like, when he tells him, when he tells his subordinates, he's like, you're not God, I am, or some shit like that. Like, that was insane line delivery. Cause, like, he was just so, like, just, he was having fun with the role and really stepped into it. So it's like, what if you told Josh Brolin not to, like, you know, like, step into the, like, the Thanos role? Well, that's not really a good example, but, like, you know, Heath Ledger. Like, what if you, like, Christopher Nolan was trying to reel him in and just didn't let him, like, go and, like, be explosive, you know? So it's just like stuff like that. It's just like that kind of just sucks to hear. And, like, that, I think, what separates some of these Marvel projects and, like, who's working on them and, like, what they kind of not allow per se. What am I trying to say? Just like a generic approach is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Like, a generic approach to the movie. And I feel like you can feel when that's happening. As I'm not gonna, like, I want to say, like, as an actor, then just as, like, a viewer as well. Whether that's, like, through trailers or, like, when you actually go watch the movie, you can see the generic approach to the process of the movie. I hope that made sense, and I hope that's, like, not. I'm not, like, trying to shit on anyone's process, but, like, I don't know what it's just. You can just feel the uniqueness, I guess, in most cases. I that wasn't really a well thought out point, but, like, something along those lines. I'm gonna get this really quick. So, Spider-Man the animated series head writer John Semper Jr. is open to continuing the show like X-Men 97. He says, all they have to do is call me. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, this was like, I mentioned this when I was talking about the 97 trailer 2 weeks back or whatever. Along with, I would say, even like just like these older shows, I didn't like watch them all the way through and like how they ended in like the every storyline, but I just like saw key episodes or episodes here and there and like saw the key ones. I don't basically to say I don't know where the animated series end, but I want to say it like ended pretty definitively, right? Or pretty like wrapped up pretty solidly. So I don't know if this needs an extra a continuation, but regardless of that case, I don't care. Like I would want to see that. But also, I was like looking on this guy's Twitter profile, and apparently, because the Spider-Verse like concept is in the old animated series, Spider-Man animated series, and I guess he was the one to introduce that, and then later, no one has really credited him for that since then. Like Spider-Verse, the movies didn't give him any credit for that, and so like that just goes like kind of sucks. And I talked about this before. It just kind of sucks that these makers of the movies and whatnot don't give credit to the people, especially with comic book writers and stuff. But to, I guess this extends to like animation stuff too. Just the people who laid out the groundwork for them to eventually do this stuff that everyone loves, and so that just kind of sucks to hear. But yeah, I would want to see a continuation of the series, even if it did wrap up pretty definitively. I guess that kind of like steps on the toes of it, but. Okay, I would only want to see. So with the X-Men story, you can do a continuation of that because that ended, I'm pretty sure, like kind of open-endedly, or there was room for continuation. So the only way if the Spider-Man show did end definitively and like on a nice note, the only way I would want to see it redone or brought back if it was in the same exact, not like exact, but the 97 like. Is CGI with some 2D like blended in type shit, and it looks fine. It looks good actually. It's better than fine, but it doesn't look like the old show. And the old show, I feel like the Spider-Man is the style of it is so iconic, and so the only way I would want to see this come back if it's in that similar style, but slightly updated. But yeah, oh my God, another case of I want to beat Sony with hammers. Kevin Feige and Sony are reportedly negotiating for a middle ground that would let Spider-Man 4 feature both a street level story and a multiverse story. So this is from Alex from Cosmic Circus again. So this is like a Actually, I don't know how long they've been around, but newer than one that I've seen. So take this with a major grain of salt. You know, so this could just be a rumor, but oh my god, Sony, what are you doing, bro? What the fuck is a street level slash multi verse story middle ground is like? I mean the Spider Verse movies, I guess, did it pretty well. Like there's a lot of the first one, the first one. There's a lot of multiversal elements, but it's still pretty grounded, you know. So I guess it could be done, but it's just like, bro, it's not what we need, brother. We do not need the multiverse, I guess, anymore. And it's funny that Sony is the one pushing for a multiversal story and not like the MCU, and is, I guess, apparently trying to push back on that. Considering that like this whole multiversal phase and whatnot. And so it's like that's the shtick of the phase. And so it's like it's surprising that they're not jumping on board with that, but I'm pretty sure they just recognize where at least Kevin Feige, it seemingly from these rumors that Kevin Feige recognizes where the Spider-Man story needs to go. And then I also seen some rumors floating around that they were, yeah, actually no, those were super flip floppy back and forth, so I don't even think that's worth mentioning. But apparently also from Alex from Cosmic Circus, Andrew Garfield will reportedly continue the story of his Peter Parker Spider-Man, but the chances of him getting a solo film is very minimal. Again, take this with a major grain of salt, but just speculating. What would this mean? Would this be some Secret Wars stuff? Like he's gonna come back in Secret Wars, and we're gonna get a little bit more context to his story after, after his movies, and more what his universe not even looks like, but what he tells us, and what you know what I'm trying to say. But or is he gonna pop up in Venom 3? Like what is this? What is this gonna mean? What is he gonna pop up in? But I just felt like that was worth mentioning and bringing up as well, for that was from the same source, but. From Daniel Richmond, still on the Sony side of things, a Spider-Man villains animated movie is reportedly in development. So they, again, this is still, it's a rumor, but it's still super early. Is Spider-Man gonna be in this, bro? Is this just gonna be another villain fucking Sony movie without Spider-Man? And if that's the case, why the fuck is Sony so scared of Spider-Man in their universe? Like there's like, it's kind of like low key what it feels like, and I just came through this thought. It feels like Sony knows that their movies are shit, and so they're not putting Spider-Man in them to tarnish the Spider-Man name. And I guess there's like hints to him, but it's just like you can like quarantine those movies off into their own little pocket dimension without tarnishing Spider-Man's name himself. Do you get what I mean? Like, sure, it hurts the mythos as a whole, but it doesn't hurt it doesn't hurt Spider-Man in the eyes of the general audience. I feel like I think I really conveyed that point well, because that's the only reason, I guess, to me now, is why Spider-Man is not in any of this movie, bro. Any of the movies. And that that is honestly my new reasoning, because that makes it just makes no sense, bro. But anyways, I guess it's still kind of early to say with this animated movie if Spider-Man is going to be in it. But the way the track record, it doesn't, I guess this is animated too, so it's maybe not the same. I don't know, bro. It's just like Sony strikes gold with the creatives that they bring in to work on some Spider-Man stuff. You know, you get Raimi, you get the Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Whatever the case with the Spider-Man movies, say what you will about the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but you get, what's his name, Mark Webb. So it's just like, I feel like they get just really strong creatives behind it, but then themselves are just boneheaded dumbasses. Like that's what I see, or that's what I think. But yeah, Spider-Man an animated movie, like what would this look like? Is this, obviously I don't expect it to be in the style of the Spider-Verse, but like, is this gonna be a multiversal story? Is this gonna be like the Sinister Six forming, or what is this gonna be? Is this gonna be fucking Venom and friends? Like what are we getting here? What would I like to see? Let's think about that for a sec. What would I like to see from an animated villain Spider-Man movie? I would want to see like something like, the Sinister Six forming or something. But again, Spider-Man would have to be in these fucking movies. But okay, let's take it by the Sony track record and assume Spider-Man's not gonna be in these movies. Hmm. I would take like a gang like street level thing, like a street level like crime syndicate type of deal, and just like what's going on in there, or I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I would want to see. If like it would have to be, I would really want to see the Beetle in it somewhere. Maybe, yeah. I'm just because all of the things I'm like that are popping up in my mind require fucking Spider-Man to actually make sense, and not fucking Venom without whatever. We're gonna get in too deep again, Dennis. Back up, back up. All right, I gotta back away from the subject, bro. I'm gonna get in too deep. Yeah. So I guess, well, I'm gonna keep an eye out on this developing. Beef season 2 news. So this is from Deadline. Apparently, the next Beef season 2 is expected to follow two couples. What was it? It was following just like the guy, and I guess she was in a relationship, but he wasn't. But it's just two couples, but these couples are fucking fire matchups. So Charles Melton and Kaylee Spaney. Actually, I don't know who those are, those people are, but this other one's a fire matchup. Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway. That's a crazy matchup, bro. So yeah, like I said, bro, big fan of Beef, and so it's continuing on like an anthology series, so it's not gonna follow the same storyline. It's gonna be different storylines each season, which is kind of cool. Of course, I would want to see that. Fuck, I just lost my. Oh, here it is. I just lost my chapstick cap. But of course, like I said, or like I was saying, I would want to see the continuation of the last season because I really grown to be attached to those characters and whatnot, and I really like where the storyline was going and where the relationships were heading and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too fussed. I'm like, from what they delivered, I'm not like confident, but like I'm not, what's it called, turned off from this decision to not continue the story from the first season. But whatever this case of this is, I'm very interested to see how Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway fit into this. I really like those actors, and so that's gonna be very interesting. So yeah. Oh, I guess actually, let me look up Charles Melton and this other lady. Let's see. Because I'm bad with names, but I'm pretty decent with faces. Oh, okay. Okay, I've seen this guy before. I haven't seen anything he's in, I don't think. Well, let me see. He's in Bad Boys for Life. I haven't seen that. Riverdale. Is this Andrew Garfield? He's in something with Andrew Garfield called Mainstream. Yeah, I haven't seen anything he's in, but I've seen his face before. Who's the other lady? Let me see. Kaylee Spaney. I've heard that name before. So again, just gotta put the name to the face. Yeah, I've seen her before. What's she in though? Alien. Oh, she's about to be in some other shit. So she's in quite a few things, good things. So she's gonna be in the upcoming Civil War movie, which I'm looking forward to. That's like Alex Garland in America having another Civil War. Yeah, she's not really in things I've seen though. But yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway fit into that. Reportedly, Netflix is expected to raise their subscription prices again this year, according to analysis. Fuck Netflix. Like, why are you... Like, they're raising prices to compensate for ad revenue and whatnot. Like, cable is... Oh, my God. There for a reason. It's annoying. It's like, bro, it's just slowly gonna get back to cable, bro, and it's just really annoying watching this process slowly happen because I know that's inevitably where this is gonna end up back up, and I don't mean like soon in like the next like 5 years, but like really in like the next like probably 10 to 15 years or whatever. Like we're gonna end up back with cable with, I feel like, only a select few premium networks, and like, we had premium networks before, like Stars, HBO, and whatnot. But like, I feel like the mainstays that will stay around would be like Amazon Prime and Apple that just are ventured into other, and obviously I think Disney Plus too, because stuff that maybe not so much Disney Plus, but what I'm trying to say, stuff that are companies that have other business ventures, like Amazon Prime is not Amazon's sole income, like they're Amazon, like they have their hands in many different pots. Same with Apple, like they're a fucking giant tech company. Apple TV is not their main source of income. So like people who have or companies who have money at capital to throw quote unquote throw away or just invest in different things, And so in saying that, like, when they greenlight something and put money behind it and it flops, they're not hurt as bad as companies who are solely making their money off of this type of entertainment stuff. So they just have more leeway with that, with tolerating flops and whatnot, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so it's just I brought that up. I don't know. Yeah, it's just really annoying. Anyways, so I honestly kind of forgot how the show ended. I remember how it ended, but I don't know if it like was like specifically left on off in a place to get another season. But I just talked about it before, so I guess I just wanted to bring this up. But Deadline reports that Netflix has canceled The Brother's Son after just one season. So this starred Michelle Yeoh, and I really liked it. Yeah, really good. You should go check it out. Even though the season is getting canceled, I think it's still worth the check out. But it's really good action. I really thought surprisingly good action, actually. Really well choreographed, very bloody. Not super bloody, but pretty bloody. Really like the performances, the relationships, and how like the story and how they developed, and where they end off at. And then what was I gonna say? Performances, action. Yeah. I think it's worth to check out in that regard. But we have a couple release dates before we get into this One Punch Man trailer. The sequel to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is set to release on October 9th, 2026. So yeah, this is still ways away. The last movie released in 2023, so I guess that's not super long. 3 years, especially with the type of animation they were doing, I guess that's honestly not long at all, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not really fussed. 2 more years until this movie comes out? I'm not fussed. Let them boys cook. I really liked the first movie a lot. That was like one of my one of my favorite movies of the year in 2023. So super, boy, especially where it's not fucking a spoiler to say the main villain of the Ninja Turtles is gonna be in the next movie, fucking Shredder. We only got like a silhouette shot or like a back. That's crazy. I was gonna say a back shot, but like a back shot, a behind shot of the Shredder, and he just looked fucking badass in the art style. And so yeah, I'm not tripping at all. Let them boys cook, because I know they're about to cook some up fucking munchable type shit. I don't know what I was trying to say there. But anyways, Andor season 2 will be probably out by towards the end of this year or early next year. So this comes from, I think, Stellan Skarsgård. I think Games Radar was interviewing him for Dune 2 because he plays a part in there. But yeah, so Andor season 2, and apparently this is going to be the last season. And yeah, Andor with it all the way. Looking forward to that a lot. And so the next thing, though, before we get into the gaming news, is the One Punch Man season 3 trailer dropped. Oh boy. I'm looking forward to this a lot, my guy. Like a lot. So One Punch Man season 1 is fucking goated, bro. That shit was amazing. And I'll get into why that's so amazing in a second. But One Punch Man season 2, it was kind of, I gotta rewatch it, but the animation and shit just was not on par with season 1. And that's because they were like really crunched and didn't have a good working schedule. And so that's partly to blame. But then also, apparently One Punch Man season 1, all like bunch of the GOAT animators in the industry, apparently like this was around the time when a lot of long running anime was starting to finish up. And so with that being said, a lot of those goated animators working on those bigger projects got some free time, or all around kind of the same time. And so apparently, I don't know like which animators or whatnot, but this is just stuff I've read on Twitter. But a bunch of them came to like joined onto the One Punch Man project because their schedules lined up. And so that's why that first season animated so well. And that was like lightning in a bottle, apparently. So we're not going to get anything like that first season. But even that, with that being said, season 2 just really wasn't up to snuff, even like really comparable to the first season. So a lot of people, including myself, weren't really on board completely. I was really dragging my feet finishing that second season, because again, it was just like there was definitely some shining moments, but it just wasn't even close to season 1. But with that being said, though, for me, I was like, yeah, One Punch Man is like whatever. Like I'll watch the next season, but nah, I'm not gonna hold my breath. But then just one day on Twitter, bro, I just saw these crazy fucking manga panels that were just the craziest, like just art and sequences that I've seen, bro. I was like, bro, what is this from? So I just went into the replies, and they said it was from One Punch Man. I was like, in no fucking reality is this from One Punch Man. Just from, I'm not even gonna even spoil anything. Just from what I've seen in season 2 and even season 1, like you get fucking aliens from space and Saitama jumps from the goddamn moon back to the earth and whatnot. Even considering that shit, how do we get from there to what the fuck are on these manga pages? And I was just like, I gotta find out, bro. And so I went and I read the One Punch Man manga. I just restarted the story and went from, chapter 1, season 1, whatever, and went up to wherever they were. And I was blown a fucking way. And just right there, One Punch Man became like one of the top mangas I read. And it's not even over yet, so that could change. But it was like up there with Berserk and shit for me. Like I'm not like a super super big manga head, but I'd be tapped in here and there, and I started reading a new manga, which I'll talk about in my weekly watch list. But yeah, anyways, where season 2 ended is like kind of at the start of like the crazy shit that was like that eventually saw in like the manga and shit. Like it's the beginning of the end type shit, not like the end of the story, but it's about to go down. So I was really looking forward to season 3, and it seems like they again, the animation is super super solid, but again, the season 1 was just something special, bro. And it just has Goro and shit. He's fighting some monsters, and I see some manga comparison shots too, so it's like super I mean, not like this like super matters a lot, but there's a lot of 1-to-1 manga matchup pages. What am I trying to say? Like animate, like some scenes like match up with the manga, which is just always cool to see. But the animation looks great. So I don't think there's really there was not a release date at the end of this trailer, but super excited for this. Is there any? Yeah, I don't think there was any release date attached to this, at least from what I've seen. But yeah, super super excited for One Punch Man. The manga's fucking crazy. Just excited to see. And what might I add? If One Punch Man fucking I've been letting the manga build up, so I actually got to go revisit that, because I was like, yeah, I gotta, because I just like binging my anime and manga stuff, and so I was letting the episodes go back up. So I think I got a good amount of chapters to read, so I don't think I'm gonna tap back in with that. But like I was saying though, if One Punch Man properly adapts the manga from what I've seen, and again, I don't know what the ending is, or they're not even at the ending in the manga, or however it wraps up. This has very, very well potential to be top 3 anime for me, like dead ass. If they continue, not even continue, I guess, because I guess season 2 was a little stumbling. But if season 3 solid and they continue on that forward, yeah, we're getting something special, my boy, for sure. But yeah, onto some gaming news. It's just, yeah, all layoffs this week. It's rough, but I'm gonna get into it. So I'm gonna go through the layoffs, and then I'm gonna give my 2 cents and whatnot. Supermassive Games is laying off around 90 workers, or roughly 25 to 30% of the studio. This is from Bloomberg. There's a couple articles from Bloomberg, and fucking they're paywalled, so I did not read them. So Supermassive Games. Let's see some stuff they worked on. I might have mentioned them before, maybe not. Let me see. Supermassive Games. So so these are the guys behind The Quarry, Until Dawn, like the Dark Pictures stuff. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that, but Until Dawn's pretty solid. There's some actually really funny playthroughs on YouTube about Until Dawn and even the other games too. But I know RDC has some funny ones. Jev has some funny ones. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. Good energy, and hope everyone affected by that lands on their feet. Sony is having a bigger what's it called? round round of layoffs. So they're laying off around 900 people in sites. Hold on, yeah, around 900 people. I was trying to find what percentage of that was their work for. I think it was like around 8%, if I'm not mistaken. I literally had that article linked. Did I not? Yeah, I think it was around 8%, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong about that. And then also like I think their London studio is shutting down completely. And I looked at the games that their London studio was making, or saw like a screenshot, and it was a bunch of like more kid friendly games, and not trying to like discredit their work. That's actually not the time for this. But it's just a lot of more kid friendly games, and then I also saw like that Xbox and PlayStation have kind of gave up on the kid game race and kind of left that to Nintendo. Like, Nintendo has a lot of really kid friendly games. I don't mean just like, um just like some PG-13 level games, or what rated teen, but like actual kid games. And so they were more in line with that. So that could just be, PlayStation abandoning that realm completely. And they didn't really even try either. There was just like, there's a couple entries, but there's not anything like that is super, super kid friendly. And I don't even mean like, Ratchet and Clank is pretty kid friendly, but I mean even like mechanically too. Like that's a shooter, and a third person shooter that could get pretty hectic sometimes. And so that's like not completely kid friendly is what I'm saying. And so yeah, still it just would have yeah, it just sucks still. And so what's, I guess, not even interesting, but I guess different types of stuff is, what am I trying to say? Different countries are handling the layoffs different. So the US, after you got the news that you're being laid off, that was your final day, you're out of there. I don't know if there's like a severance package or what, but in the UK, so I think they're trying to still sort it out, but yeah, it just says we're proposing to regulators the cuts and we'll let you know. That's all it says for the UK. But in Japan, I think is the best healthy way, I guess. They'll be getting a career support program to help find them a new gig. This, I did have the link, but it was, for some reason it's broken. That's why I didn't see it. So whatever. But yeah, that just sucks. Again, and then there was this. So this is the list of Sony's games, the recent like AAA games. So The Last of Us Part 2 cost over $220 million. Horizon Forbidden West Coast was over $212 million. God of War Ragnarok was over $200 million. Marvel Spider-Man 3 was over $300 million. So this is from Zuby Tech, and this is kind of their take on it. But I'll just read it out. I don't know if I completely agree with everything, but I don't know. This is just their take. He or she says each game is more and more. Each game is more and more. The revenue has increased, but the return on investment is getting smaller and smaller. Each of these games, PlayStation green lights, is now excess over 200 million plus. 200 million plus. No company in the world has and is greenlighting 200 million plus games / entertainment products back to back, except Sony PlayStation. Except Sony PlayStation. This is a fact. These projects are more are the most costly. Well, Jesus, I'm getting tongue tied, bro. These projects are the most costly entertainment products ever produced, developed, and shipped in the history of games and entertainment. Porting to PC even day and date will not fix this issue. In fact, day and date will make even less revenue. This right here is Sony's PlayStation's huge problem. Bottom line, plain and simple, it's not sustainable and it never will be. Either reduce the game budget, length of the product, and charge less and price at $40 or $50, or have caps on these projects or of under 200 million, and increase the price of the game to 80 to 100. And he says, in my opinion, these are the only two options. But yeah, so do not fucking raise the price of games. What the fuck? They're already fucking $77 as it is with the tax and shit. And so yeah, there was another art. Let me see if I can find it. There is another article that actually, let me just keep going through this. And so Life is Strange, Before the Storm And True Color developer Deck 9 Games is laying off 20% of the studio. EA is laying off 670 workers, roughly 5% of the company, moving away. They're moving away from the development of licensed IPs to focus on owned IP and sports franchises. And then I'll get into that EA because there was some stuff that came out of that. Let me see. Saber Interactive, which they were behind the remake of Knights of the Old Republic, which I said I was looking forward to, that got canceled. But they're leaving Embracer Group in a $500 million deal that will see it and its 3,500 developers go private. So they're being bought up, being sold to some private investors, and so they're turning independent. I'll come back to that, what that means for the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Also, hold on. Oh, and then along with that, Borderlands Studios Gearbox could be also closer than ever to being sold off from its parent company, Embracer Group, as well, and its claims. So CEO Randy Pitchford, I've heard some stuff about him. I'm not too, like some negative stuff. I'm not too 100% what his deal is, but he reportedly told staff earlier this week that a decision had been made on the studio's future. And then also, continuing with the split from, parent companies, Toys for Bob, which is behind the Spyro remake, some other stuff, and then like the Crash Bandicoot remake trilogy. They're splitting from Microsoft and Activision and going independent. The studio is currently in talks to pursue a partnership with Microsoft, but not being completely controlled by them. And then also 505 Games is closing offices in Germany, Spain, and France. I think that was a layoff of around 8 people or 9 people. But yeah, so just a bunch of layoffs. I think last year, 2023, there was about 8,000 layoffs in the gaming industry, and I think, let me find that article because it's a crazy goddamn number, bro. Fudge, bro. I don't even know where it is, bro, but it said like around 8,000, but like in the last like 2 months of this year, we're already, I think, past that. Or maybe I think it was 10,000 for last year, and then this year we're already at like 8,000, and we're only 2 months into the year, so it's just like crazy. And so there was I gotta find that article because there was so there's speculation that this is from bro, I don't know why my computer's tweaking, it's not showing up. Whatever, I gotta look it up on my phone, but there was a couple speculations on why the industry is collapsing like this, the gaming industry, and part of that was the growth during COVID, and it was just after COVID, it was unsustainable, and now they're leveling back out, and so they're just having a bunch of layoffs and whatnot. Now my phone's tweaking too, bro. Wow, it's not Destiny. Yeah, but there was just a couple reasons speculated. Some other was also like the Sony thing. But this isn't everyone. The growth of AAA games and how much they cost and stuff. Bro, why is my Twitter not loading, bro? I'm sick about it, bro, because I was gonna really hammer my point home, brother. Yeah, but there's multitude of reasons. Fudge, but I really wish. Hold on, maybe I can. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Bro, my stuff is not showing up. What the bro? So I send my stuff I send stuff I find on my main Twitter to my other account. But for some reason, bro, Twitter is tweaking. It's not load. Oh, here we go. Finally, Jesus. Let me try to find the article. Yeah, so like that 10,000, 8,000 number, 10,000 layoffs last year and 8,000 this year. I think I found it. 8,000 this year in the first 2 months. That was correct. Okay, so the article says, while many have suggested that this wave of mass cuts is occurring due to company overspending and overhiring during COVID-19, game developers have suggested a myriad of other reasons why this continues to happen. These include poor investment decisions from company leaders, struggles around the growing size, scope, and expense of making games, the budget of the games I was just mentioning, and a lack of long-term planning for the ebbs and flows of the gaming business. So, yeah, is mismanagement is a point that I also didn't even bring up. So apparently, like, there's, especially in tech companies, there's a lot of mismanagement and like a lot of fluff roles like that they don't necessarily need, or people are just working on stuff that is not necessarily a priority, and there's a lot of stuff like that. And so that it could be a big reason and why these games are exceeding these massive budgets, as well as poor management. And it's just a whole lot of things being put into this keg and just ready to explode. And then I guess it is exploding right now. And just I think it's just years and years of this unstable growth, I would say, and just like the way that it's been developing. That's just my look at it, and I have a very outside view look into it. I just don't, as I'm like, bringing this stuff up more and more on the podcast and like reading more and more articles, it's starting to make a little bit more sense. But again, I'm not like some fucking insider or have like extensive knowledge on why the stuff is being fucked up. But that's just the stuff I've been reading and seeing and takes and whatnot. And yeah, but that's a bunch of the layoffs. But I want to get into what that kind of means for some of these companies, I guess. And so I guess with EA specifically, and with the Knights of the Republic remake. And so again, I want to say, not again, but I want to emphasize that this stuff is what's most important in this situation is the workers being affected by this and whatnot. And I'm just saying that because I don't want it to seem like, as I'm going into what that means for these projects that I'm looking forward to, that like I don't care or that I'm just like brushing aside that the impact that this is having on the people involved. I guess I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. But so with EA focusing on their more owned IPs, I guess they're going to start turning to their leaning on their sports franchise and stuff. And so and also in this news that's coming out and about this, so they're canceling that. I mentioned that they're canceling the Mandalorian game, I think, last week. And so that news, Jedi Survivor 3 is in the works. But hold on, let me skim this article again. Not again, but let me skim this article. I read it, but let me skim it now. So they're doubling down on their own IP, sports, and massive online communities. Wilson did not provide details on which games would be sunset, and I guess they're shutting down some mobile games. So the greater focus is a quote from Wilson. I think he's the CEO. I don't know. The greater focus allows us to drive creativity, accelerate innovation, and double down on our biggest opportunities, including our own IPs, sports, and massive online communities to deliver the entertainment players want today and tomorrow. Lastly, we're streamlining our company operations to deliver deeper, more connected experiences for fans everywhere that build community, shape culture, and grow fandom, Wilson wrote. And then I think in this article, they said like the people on these canceled projects are going to be like some of them are going to be reshifted to other projects to work on those. Yeah. But to come out of that, though, we got, the canceled game was probably the Mandalorian games, but some details came out about that. Apparently, you played as a Mandalorian, and it wasn't Din, so it was just another Mandalorian. It wasn't the Mandalorian from the shows with like Grogu or Baby Yoda or whatever. So basically, you pursued bounties across the galaxy. Very fast-paced combat due to the jetpack. Main enemies were variations of various types of stormtroopers. Boss-like enemies included fighting AT-ATs and AT-STs, and it was not open world, but there's some more stuff though. So, and I don't even want to get into it because the game is canceled, but bro, there was some cool stuff that was going to be in this game. So this article, I'm just going to like read the article. So first, it should be said that by all accounts, this game was fantastic. And that isn't just coming from the developers, but from everybody who had the opportunity to play the game. Feedback from playtests was always positive and surrounded by buzz, with the developers enjoying the entire process of working on the project. That being said, for whatever reason, EA felt like the game was too much of a financial risk and decided to pull the plug. And this the prompt. What was Respawn's Mandalorian game? As previously reported, the game was said to be based on a Mandalorian bounty hunter, not believed to be the Mandalorian, but that would see the player search for bounties across the galaxy. The game started with the Den, which was the player's base of operations. That contained your ship, a map of the galaxy, an upgrade station, an armory, and more. It's understood that it would be here where you would select which bounties you would want to pursue. The players could then equip the weapons they wanted, upgrade their armor, and then go into the ship and land on the planet where the bounty was located. Hold on. This article, by the way, is Gaming. Yeah, Insider Gaming. Bounties located. The game was not open world and instead offered a linear level experience, but did have some larger open areas for the player to explore and find their bounties and other secrets. Combat was described as very fast-paced due to the Mandalorian jetpack that allowed for vertical dashing, horizontal boosting, and for reaching those high-to-reach places. It was also said that there was a takedown feature, which would see your character perform takedowns somewhat reminiscent of Doom, but a lot less gory, to take down enemies. The main enemies were stormtroopers who would patrol most maps as you try to complete your bounty, and have several different types that you would expect from a Star Wars game: regular, shotgun, sniper, heavy, rockets, and more. It's also understood that the game would have featured boss-like enemies periodically, which would see you face AT-ST walkers, etc. Other enemies would depend on the planet you were on, but could range from gangs of outlaws to other bounty hunters who wanted to beat you to the punch. It's believed that the game was still ways off from release, but it's understood that the game had a fairly polished vertical slice and a few other levels near completion. The game was in development for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, X, and PC. That was a lot, bro, but this is a huge blow, bro. This game, bro, having your own like little armory. I feel like this was kind of like this sounded like an expansion on what we got in Jedi Survivor. That was the last game where they just had like this like mini like side quest bounty hunter thing, and that was that, but this completely, you know. So this has just been super cool. Like the den sounds cool as shit, and just what would that would have looked like in upgrading your weapon. Like, is it gonna be on some Last of Us shit where it's like, you know, you're taking it apart and whatnot, or whatever the case? That would have been just super cool to see. And I really like the description of the fast paced combat, like esque to kind of reminiscent of Doom, which I think the Doom combat is kind of it's overwhelming, but once you get the hang of it, it's super fun. But that's a game you have to be kind of like locked in with, like repeatedly. Like you can't like play that game for like a couple days, take like a week break, come back, and then and just expect to be still solid. Like you gotta stay in motion with those games and really get the hang of the movement and whatnot, and what takedown to use, because each takedown refills a different part. Like some refills shield and get ammo and whatever the case, and so you gotta really be strategic with how you take down enemies, which is really fun. Like, so that being what's it called, Link to Doom, that's super fun. And I want to see how open worlded it would be. Is it like on some God of War shit? Is it on some like you visit the planet one time or whatever, like you can come back and revisit the planet, or is it like kind of level based, like each planet is a level, or what's the case there? And then also like equipping your weapons before the bounty you go out. And so was it a deal of like, damn, take this one alive, so you gotta equip some some shock, like fucking, what is it, some shock gear or whatever, or some shit with the stun rays. Yeah, that's what it is, the stun rays or whatever. Or is it like, okay, we're going against like a more on a bug planet, so you gotta equip a fucking flamethrower or something, or some more like different type of lasers or rounds and missiles and whatever. Like what was the extension of preparing for a bounty? You know, I feel like that there was really some fun things to play with there. Yeah, this is just overall though just a huge loss to the Star Wars, I guess, community and just the gaming space, I guess. I don't know. I just really wanted to see this game. And then also with this EA like development on the next Mass Effect game continues, with BioWare's focus currently on Dragon Age. So Ridgeline Games, working on a single player Battlefield experience, is being shut down. That's that just sucks. A lot of losses there. I know it sucks that those people like seem very, especially in that article, it seemed like they were very excited to work on that Mandalorian game, and it just got taken from them. So that really sucks, to be honest. Yes, but on to like some the Saber Embracer Group thing. So I was previously mentioning like it seems like Embracer Group is like no one likes them in the gaming space, and so but I feel like for Saber this was best case scenario, getting sold off from them, and then you get Gearbox being trying to get away from them too. So I feel like in all of these shakeups and stuff, these companies buying all these studios, it's the best case scenario for them to get sold off and just become independent. Actually, I wouldn't say best case scenario because I don't know what that fully entails, like in the funding their type of get and like the private investors and what that shapes their like workspace to be and whatnot. So I really don't know in that sense. But yeah, So with Embracer selling Saber for 500 million, it's interesting that they're going for 500 million and Insomniac got Sony got Insomniac for like 200 million. But also saw a point that a lot of Insomniac's success are with Sony IPs like Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man. Yeah. What else? They probably have some other Sony IPs that they work on. So it wasn't like they had like and then the independent stuff that they did like Sunset Overdrive didn't do that well financially. So I can see why they got it for a much lower deal than like 500 million. But with Saber being sold from Embracer Group, it looks like fucking Knights of the Old Republic is still in the works, bro. That is lit, bro. Oh my god, that's probably annoying as fuck, but bro, I'm so excited for that because I was really looking forward to this game. I've always heard that Knights of the Old Republic was fucking goated, and it was always on PC, which I did not have a PC. So could not experience it. And even when I do get a PC, with this coming out, I'll still fucking hold off on it because updated graphic, updated mechanics, like that's just gonna be, I guess, the superior package in my eyes if it's done well. If it's done well. So, with this being, remastered or remade, this was my time to experience this goated story, and so I was very excited for that. And then with Embracer seemingly canceling it, or it was like dead in the, it wasn't officially canceled, but it was like really dead in the water, and so it seems we'll still be getting that. So that's fucking great. Love that so much. But again, good energy to everyone involved being negatively affected by that. But some quick comic news before we get into Dune 2. Madam Web, or not Madam Web, Madame Venom. So this is from Comics Ashley's Twitter account, and she just posted. This account just posts like about comic books, but they posted Madame Venom, and she has like this veil over her face, and it's a fucking fire ass design. Where am I on? Am I on my main account? Okay, I'm gonna retweet it on my main account, and so if you want to go check that out, follow me or just go to my account at DS2Smooth. But it's like when she drops the veil over her face, that's where like Venom's like design comes up, and it's just, bro, it's super fucking creative, bro. Go find that design, please. It's creative as hell. But yeah, that was just all really on comics. Oh, actually, I think X-Men. I need to look that up. X-Men, the new entry into the Ultimate Universe, X-Men, is coming out this month, so I gotta check that out. Pretty excited for that and what X-Men looks like in the new Ultimate Universe. So yeah. Actually, let's look that up real quick. When does that come out? So I'm talking about it. Ultimate X-Men, and I think this issue is like kind of centers around Armor. I'm not really sure about her character or her powers, but yeah. When does this drop? Oh shit! This drops this coming week. So this drops March 6th. So geez, that's coming up. But yeah, read it online, I guess, if you're tapped in with the boycott and whatnot. But yeah, it's still this would be interesting to check out whether sell the 7 seeds for it or whatever the case. But yeah. Let's get into Dune 2, brother. Oh man, let's get into Dune 2. Let's talk some numbers before I get into it. Spoiler free. and then I'll get into spoilers. So I'll let you know when I get into spoilers. I'll give you enough time to give. There'll be time codes below too to so if you really want to, jump in. But I suggest listening to the whole review so you get the whole package or whatever. But if you want to just jump to the spoilers, do your Dougie. Let's talk some numbers before we get into like the synopsis and story and shit. So Dune 2 opens with 12 million domestic previews. So I think that's like the Thursday like night preview before like the weekend. 12 million domestic, so it could have been more. Do internationally do the early preview? I don't know if that's just a domestic number, but anyways, that's over 50% of the first film. So I guess the first movie only made 6 million in domestic preview, but it is apparently Dune 2 is now tracking to earn 81.5 million domestically, double from the first movie. So I guess the first movie was around 40 million, so this is doubled in every way type shit. And 180 million to 200 million on its worldwide box office opening weekend. So which is more than it was projected to be. Jesus, I'm stumbling over myself. And the budget was 190 million. So with movie math for this Jesus Christ, I cannot say generalization. I don't know why I was like tripping over that word, but it is common to just basically, you get the budget and then you double the budget for marketing. But with that double would be a 380 million. So they would need 380 million to be even, break even, and then above that to be in the green and make profit from this movie. So it seems like that is well on its fucking way, because it seems like it made its budget. If it's on the 200 million side, it made its budget back in one weekend, which is made its movie budget, but not like overall budget in one weekend. So it's a very, very, it's looking like it's gonna make its money back and then some. So with that being said, I fucking love this movie. I love this movie so much. I loved it so much. I'm going to get into the story synopsis in a minute if you don't know what Dune is. But it was the perfect continue. Obviously, it's part 1 and part 2, bro. But it just bleeds into the first movie so well. And it's just like the perfect package, bro. No cap. So if you don't know what Dune is, so basically, it's on some space Game of Thrones shit, bro. You get different houses and you get different alliances with the houses. You get different fucking underlying beef and agendas and whatnot. So basically, the story follows Paul Atreides, who is the heir to House of Atreides, and you get the spice. So the spice is only on planet Arrakis, right? And the spice is able to let these houses and whatnot and people in the universe space travel. So planet Arrakis is the most important planet to this story, right? And so whoever controls how Arrakis kind of is getting the most bucks. They got the most bread type shit. And so the Emperor kind of oversees it all. And basically House Atreides is on the rise. And the Emperor doesn't like that. He's scared of it because it has some strong players in the House of Atreides. Paul being one of them. And so he doesn't like that. So he basically, in Dune 1, the Arrakis was controlled by the Harkonnens. And so, which is like the rival to so there's like 4 houses or something, 3 houses, I don't know. But like the main, maybe in the third movie, the other houses come into play more, but the main players are Harkonnens and Atreides, House Atreides, right? And so the Emperor takes the Harkonnens off of Arrakis and gives the planet to House Atreides, but he does that so he can start a war between the two, which he does in the first movie. And bro, the first movie is basically Paul losing everything and setting him on this journey that he is on now. And so, yes, bro, it's just on some Game of Thrones shit. And this is a continuation of this Dune 2 is the direct continuation of the first movie, which I loved. But that was like the synopsis. And so Dune 2 is just Paul getting his get back, basically. He's getting it back in blood. And so, the Harkonnens slaughtered his whole family, and the Emperor was behind that, and he's trying to get his get back. And so what monster does he have to become to go against the fucking Emperor and the system of the was it capitalism, or I guess like the system and the cogs of the machine? Like, what monster does he have to become to throw that off? And so this is what Dune 2 is about, bro. And brother, I thoroughly enjoyed myself off the bat, bro. I got to see this movie again at least 2 more times, no cap, bro. And I'm especially excited for this movie to release on digital, so I can like watch the first movie and then immediately watch the second movie, because they just flow together that fucking well. So Atreides, he kind of has like Paul Atreides, he kind of has like this ability to see like glimpses of the future or possible futures. And it's like there are some visions in the first movie that like got fully realized in the second movie, in this movie, which was fucking amazing to see. And just seeing like those connections and seeing those same scenes in the that were just like hinted at in the first movie just play out in the second movie. It was perfect, bro. But like I said, this story is about Paul, what monster he has to turn into to get his revenge. And so basically I left out a big part in the synopsis. It's just a lot, bro. It's a lot. But again, keeping it spoiler free. Hold on, let me go to my notes though, so I can, bro, because there's just so much to talk about in spoilers that I really gotta do my dancey dance around the spoilers. But for the most part though, I guess let me go over my generalities though before I get into like the non-spoiler story beats and whatnot. But I really like the pacing of this movie. It kind of, like I said, it's a direct continuation of the first one, but I like just how they get Paul to like where he's at where he needs to be fairly like quickly. I guess not fairly quickly, it's like the first hour stuff or so, but they don't really like take their time meandering and building Paul into his relationship with the Fremen and whatnot. And so it really, I think so, like in that regard, I really like its pacing. What else? The performances, bro. The performances were fucking top notch, bro. Fucking, I haven't seen a bunch of Timothy Chalamet, fucking a lot of his movies, but anything I see him in, he's super solid. And this was probably my favorite performance from him, for sure, that I've seen. It's just, bro, he gives like Anakin vibes, bro. Anakin vibes, especially in the second half of the movie. Oh my! Anakin's my favorite Star Wars character. It's at least one of the two. I think it goes like, Anakin and Count Dooku type shit. But Anakin vibes, bro, and that was just so lovely to see. Like, it's lovely and it's so tragic though. If you know, you know. And so the performances though, I really love them. From actually, let me pull up this cast list. Lady Jessica, who played Paul's mom, is fucking, she's fire. She did her Dougie. I don't know why I was doing that. My fault. I don't want images. No. What's the cast looking like? Austin Butler as Fade, fucking lunatic. I'll get into that. He was fire. What we saw of Florence Pugh, she was fire. Zendaya was really good. So Christopher Walken's in this movie and he plays the Emperor. Bro, I don't know. He just kind of felt out of place of what his. It's funny that like in the sci-fi world, but like his accent and stuff, it kind of just felt out of place for a reason. Like it wasn't terrible, but it just I don't know, it just really was not fitting in my opinion. But it like wasn't bad or nothing. Margot. Oh, I remember her. Stellan Skarsgård as the Baron, fucking fire. Dave Bautista, he was fire. Javier Bardem, that's his name, bro. I did not know Javier Bardem was Stilgar in the first movie. I was like, he looks familiar, but with like the big ass beard and shit, like I did not really recognize him. And then Tim Blake is in this fucking movie. What the hell? Josh Brolin as Gurney. I think those were like kind of the main players. Hold on, I'm looking over the cast list. That was that was like the main players. But yeah, fucking fire performances. 10 out of 10, brother. Oh, I think I'll get inside my negatives, but yeah, great performances. Let me see. Oh, the action, bro. So okay, this I guess it goes in my point, bro. I don't know which movie I like more. So I liked one of the like not even like gripes per se, because there was action in it, but I just wish there was like more action than the first movie. But then I like the like not even like saying this in a bad way. I like the meandering type vibes. I like the slow talks of Paul with his dad and like, talking with him and whatnot. And I like all the slow bits in this because it really sets up for like the more action heavy stuff in the second movie. Like you just get like a slow burn of like the first, and then it's just really nuts to butts in the second movie. So it's just like they have this perfect like yin and yang dynamic that I really think uplifts each other as well, really well. And so it's like this has a lot more action, but then like getting and then wanting more action from the first movie and actually getting that from the second movie, it makes me appreciate the first movie a lot more. And so yeah, so if that was like a problem with the first movie for any people, I guess. And like I said, there is action in the first movie, but it's just like it's really like it's spread out, it's sparse. And so I really like the toned up action. Bro, the last just skip ahead for a bit. The last fight scene, bro, that had my bro, I haven't done this for like any movie, bro. I was seeing this with my girlfriend, bro, and I literally like tightened gripped on her hand, bro, because it was like grippy as seat gripper, bro. No cap. Bro, I can't wait to get to the spoilers. Oh man. The music was fucking fire. I think Hans Zimmerman did the score. It's always hard hitting. I can't even. I really like the vocals and shit. I can't like really recall anything off the top of my head, but it's always hard hitting. And I really like the tech in this movie. The tech like. And I like how unexplained it is too. Like some stuff is explained, but for the most part, it's really unexplained. So like, there's a lot of fun tech from like helicopter stuff and like lasers and gravity jetpacks and shit. I'll get to it more in spoilers, but there's some really fun tech stuff in this. I really like the cinematography. There was some there was some really hard hitting shots. And same in the first movie too. I think Greg Fraser, who did the Batman, I think he was the cinematographer on this, bro. He does this Dougie on everything, bro. Shout out to Greg, bro. The sound design was really fun, really good. I really like the thumpers when they really, damn, that was terrible. But when they just really, there's this like acoustic like thump sound it's really fun to listen to. Let me see the negatives I have though. Before I just like get into some more non-spoiler stuff, the negatives I have is it seemed I gotta see this again, but it kind of seemed like there's a lot of ADR. Hold on, let me so it's like let me see what ADR exactly stands for. ADR meaning in film, automated dialogue replacement. And so it's like if you like do a take or whatever, like it's visually good, but like the audio could be kind of muffled or hard to hear. They'll redub it in post, and so and you can tell sometimes when it's not done like 100% well, like it just kind of doesn't match up completely. And it seemed like there's a lot of those moments, but I could just be tweaking. It could have been my theater or whatnot, but it seemed like there's a lot of ADR moments which would have been more of a negative in a worse movie. But in this case, it's really just a nitpick. And then I guess again with the audio, with a lot of like gruff voices, I think not a lot. There's a couple, I feel like muddled lines of dialogue, which it was hard to hear. Again, super nitpick. And then the last one's a spoiler. So again, my problems are super, super small and nitpicky. And there's going to be problems that come to my attention later that I just completely overlooked. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm on a Dune like high right now. Like that shit blew me away type, So it's just like, it didn't like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But so it's like I probably am overlooking a lot of potential negatives that maybe I'll bring up like at a later date. But yeah, when I really like it, there's a lot of people when they really like enjoy something. So they kind of overlook some negatives. And so, and it's not even stuff that like I won't agree with. It's just like I just didn't catch it, or maybe it'll be brought to my the negative will be brought to my attention, and it just didn't bother me as much. But those are things that I just like kind of picked out and nitpicked that I could really think of. But I just Paul's journey in these movies, bro, it's just so like in the themes of this like whole Dune like story. It's just so it's like the systems of corrupting someone and how they are pushed to do certain things, and it's just so great and like heartbreaking at the same time. And not like trying to get into spoilers, but it's just like, damn, there was multiple moments where I just was like in this movie was like, okay, is this the right thing, or is this a good thing that this is what's happening and they're leaning into this power, and just like what is the right thing here? And it's just like I feel like this movie is just villains fighting villains type shit. And so it's interesting to think about who you want to root for and whatnot. Um bu- bu- bum. Just to like, I think quickly get into some characters. Like I said, Paul really Anakin Skywalker type vibes by the second half of the movie, or I guess the last 30-40 minutes or so, which was fire. Really, Timothy Chalamet, he really like had that. He really flipped the switch in this movie that was really, really great to see, and I really like that a lot. Lady Jessica, she was her whole deal was great. I really loved her performance, and just her commanding performance was really great. Stilgar, craziest Glazer I've ever seen. Crazy dick rider. I'll get into that. Fade, the bald-headed Austin Butler character. He was oh, that's why I didn't really I guess is that a spoiler? I mean, it's in the trailer. I'll get into that spoiler. It's in the trailer, but complete fucking lunatic. He was very fun to watch. Zendaya, she did her Dougie. Josh Brolin was fun. Again, I will get more into these characters and spoilers, but it's just, man. Is there anything else though I want to say about non-spoilery? I really like the journey of the characters. There's just gonna be a lot to say in spoilers, so it's like if I didn't say a lot here, I'm sorry, but man, let me see. I guess I'll just kind of like ease into my rating, I guess. So again, I was trying to decide which movie I liked better, and I'm just gonna have to probably watch these like kind of back to back. But I feel like each of these, it's just like yin and yang, and they just uplift each other so well. So it's just like you can't even say one is better than the other, because I feel like they're they're both super strong, but they both have their strengths that complement each other. Um, hmm. I would just say from a scale perspective, I enjoyed this Dune 2 better, because it just showed more of the universe, and it was just more a deeper dive into the things that we were introduced in the first movie, which was like just really exciting to see. But then, like I said, I just really like the slow burn of the first movie, of just like those long contemplative, and that's not even to say like that type of stuff is not in the Dune Part 2, but it's just those long contemplative talks, and those, and just fucking, I really love Oscar Isaac's performance as Leto, and that shit was super fun. And I think, okay, what was really fun about the first movie was like how shrouded in darkness, not like, okay, walk with me, how like shrouded in darkness the rest of the universe was, like how little we saw of the Baron, how little we saw of like Batista's character, how little we saw of the Spacing Guild and stuff. It was like that type of stuff. It was so like intriguing. Not to say like what we eventually see, I'll get into it, there's some problems with it, but like when the curtains unveiled, you kind of lose all that like mystery, and you get a peek behind the curtain what characters are actually like. And I feel like there's just about that, but that intrigue of the first movie was really, it set a crazy vibe, bro. And I really feel like it's unmatched. Like that doesn't come close to the second movie, because it's just like it pulls the covers off of everything. And the first movie just had like a mystery, a dark mystery vibe to it that I liked a lot. Not like a fucking murder mystery, but it was just like bro, like whoa, this nigga, he look like he can get busy type shit, like whoa. But it's just like, and that's exposed in the second movie, and we get some fucking frauds. So yeah, But yeah. So I guess I can't really say. Long story short, I can't say like which one I prefer over the other. But I guess to get a rating on it, I'm like at a niner, bro. This can go up to a 9.5. I don't. Yeah, it's not. It can't go down to like an 8.5. It's definitely gonna stay at a 9, but it could definitely shoot up to a 9.5. So if this is a niner to a 9.5, the second movie, the first movie is on the same plane, to be honest. So yeah, that's exciting. So yeah, a 9 or 9.5 for me. With a rewatch to 9.5. Would this be able to hit a 10? See, when I'm at like a 9, 9.5, it's like hard to think of reasons why this shouldn't be a 10. Honestly, I really don't know, to be honest. Maybe. Oh, and one thing I will say though, before I get into the spoilers, this movie's a lot more not even like intentionally, maybe intentionally, but it doesn't feel forced at all. It's a lot more comedic than the first movie, in my opinion. There's a lot more moments that I found myself like chuckling to and laughing out loud to. So that was fun. That was just a point that I really didn't highlight, but it wasn't a big part, so that's probably why I forgot. But yeah, let's get into some fucking spoilers, bro, because I want to get into this. Oh man, oh fucking man. Let's get into spoilers. So spoilers for Dune Part 2. If you've been listening so far and you haven't seen the movie, you don't care, keep rocking with me. If not, sayonara. I'll see you later. But yeah, let's get into some spoilers, brother. Fucking Anakin Skywalker, bro. Paul Atreides, Anakin Skywalker incarnate. I guess Anakin Skywalker is Paul Atreides, but when I say like Anakin Skywalker, I don't mean like their stories are like are similar. I guess, a descent to the dark side, but it was just, bro, it's just crazy seeing how like we've seen like the death and rebirth of Paul Atreides like multiple times in these movies. Like the first movie is Paul is just him losing like that like kid shit and like stepping into being a man, and then no, kid Paul dies, fucking Paul Atreides emerges, fucking Paul Atreides dies, fucking Muhadi or the Desert Mouse is born, and then he's fucking the Kwisatz Haderach or whatever. Like, bro, bro, there's just so much to get into with this shit, bro. His descent, bro, is just so crazy. And just, I mentioned in spoilers or non-spoilers, when he just flips that switch, bro, and he takes that blue shit and he's resurrected, and bro, he just has a different vibe to him, bro. He's like like he says, bro, he embraces the Harkonnen vibe in him, and he's a different man, bro. And you just see that. Just like when he's walking to the south for the first time. Oh my god, bro. That commanding presence that he has with his walk, bro. Like, he is not on no game time, bro. He's not playing no games, bro. He's with the shits completely. It's just so, and that's why I'm like, damn, bro. I know that, like, and then the whole movie, he knows that this shit is false propaganda, and that like the Bene Gesserit are manipulated the Freeman to think a Messiah was coming. And even Zendaya's character says that, like, you tell people a Messiah is like coming, then they'll wait. So they've just been waiting for years and planting these seeds, and Paul knows this. But then it's like the fucked up thing, and that's what I'm saying, it's like the systems and shit. And I guess that's what the author of these books wanted these to like the themes and shit was like how the systems are bad, not necessarily the people, but the systems. And like the systems in place like made Paul what he is turning into, because he was trying so hard not to go to the south because he knew what was gonna happen, and he did not want to use the Freeman in that way. And even the Emperor says, like, your father ruled, he was a weak man because he ruled with his heart. And that's like the type of shit that like Paul was on. He was trying to rule and he was just trying to be a Freeman. Like, he was not trying to lead them into his galactic fucking holy war where billions die, and not sacrifice them and use them like that. And his father wanted to like make an alliance with them, and basically he's just gonna use them, and he's trying to avoid that completely, bro. But everyone around him, his mother, the Bene Gesserit, set these plants, and then like you get these worshipers and whatnot, and then you get the people around you, fucking Gurney, Josh Brolin's characters pushing him to go to war, fucking giving him access to nuclear warheads, and fucking ecstatic when this man claims his throne as Paul Atreides and shit. Like, this man has Gurney has a fucking grin on his face during it. Like, you get Stilgar pushing you to be this messiah. It's just like, so he's just like, and then on all of that, and then Buddy just wants his fucking revenge type shit. So it's just like, he needs them to get his revenge, so he has to step into this messiah role. So it's just like, bro, Buddy just doesn't have like no where to go besides fucking to this path, bro. So it's just crazy just how this all is like set up and shit. And like, let me see. So it's just like, that's what I was saying. It's like kind of like, damn, who do I root for? Because obviously, Paul, knowing that he's not the Messiah and it's just all false propaganda and whatnot, but then using his future seeing abilities to step into that and further push the illusion is obviously bad. Taking advantage of these worshipers and turning them into your army is bad. But at the same time, bro, he's going against fucking the Harkonnens and fucking against the Emperor, who will kill someone like that's like his son because he's a weak man or what it leads, or he's scared of his power and shit. Like, that's why I said, like, it's villains going against villains. So it's like, yes, you're not supposed to root for Paul, but it's just like, okay, bro, like, who do I? Of course, you just be impartial, but it's just like, bro, Paul, do your Dougie, bro. Fuck these niggas up, bro. Do your thing, like, fuck them, bro. Fuck them. And it's just like, damn. But it's like, I recognize the bad, but it's like, I'm still rocking with Paul, bro. The same way I was still rocking with Anakin Skywalker after you saw the younglings. Like, I'm still rocking with you, bro. You just got that aura. Sorry. But yeah. But it's just like, Paul isn't bad, I would say. And he's just like, bro, his mind is cooked now. Like, his mind is cooked. The spice, the water shit. Like, buddy, he's on a different page, bro. We're not on the same chapter anymore. He's cooked. But yeah. Let me see. Stilgar, bro. So again, like, the Bene Gesserit planting these like false this false narrative in the Freeman people and trying to, what was this? Laka na Laib. What was it? The Gaib. What was it, bro? Lisa not Gaib. Like, bro. And what's crazy though? And again, they were saying that the shit was like planted, and like the Bene Gesserit, like, you know, planted these stories in the Freemans and shit centuries ago. It's just like, bro, shit was happening. It was just like, bro, is this man really the Lisa Nagaib or whatever the fuck you like, bro? I was like, damn, bro, Hamid, like, hey, he's him. But it's just like, bro, he's not him, and he's just still guarding like these heretics are so blindly in their faith that they make excuses, and so it's like, it's played as jokes, and it's like, because what's it called? Paul, he does not want to step into the role. He does not want to be the Messiah. And so like, he keeps saying, I'm not the Messiah. And like, Stilgar, he's like this crazy believer. And so this is like this is literally modern religion and religion in general. Like, he says like, oh, the Lisan al-Gaib, he's so humble that he's not going to claim to be the Messiah. But that tells us that he's even more the Messiah. Like, how humble, look how humble he is type shit. And like, he's telling that to the other followers, and they're like, oh yeah. And it's just like, bro, it's in that moment, it's played as laughs. But then once you get to the end of the movie and you see how hard they're writing and what is coming and what that means, and to follow Paul, it's harrowing. And it's just like, damn, like, it's funny, but it's not funny, you know? Is he? So he's just like a crazy dick writer in this movie. He was a crazy glazer, bro, but it was hella funny. What's it called? Fade, bro. So this is played by Austin Butler. So Get a Prime, is that their planet name? Their sun makes the planet black and white outside. And the way that these colors, they played with the saturation and whatnot. And so it's like, they'll, you know, the inside will they be colored regular textured skin. He's a little pale. They're a little paler than, you know, other people, but like they're not completely white like how it's shown in the trailers. That's only when they're in on their planet and their sun. And so there's like, they'll slowly step out, or they'll be walking outside or whatever, and like that saturation, it's just so well blended. And that was just like a really cool like technical thing that I noticed. And like how like it just, you lose that saturation as you go in and out of outside on their planet. But yeah, Fade though, so he's the brother of, he's the nephew of the Baron, the second nephew of the Baron. I don't know who's older. I don't know if that's explicitly mentioned, but Dave Bautista is the other nephew, and basically he's fucking up on Arrakis. He can't get shit in line. Paul Atreides and the Freeman are fucking up his spice production, so he demotes Bautista's character and promotes Fade, Austin Butler's character, to be the new governor of Arrakis, and he's a fucking lunatic, and he takes pleasure in torture and whatnot, and he fucking sons Batista, bro. It was genuinely funny as fuck. Like, he is like, Batista gets mad at him because they're brothers, and so he gets mad at him for being the governor or whatnot. So I think he like walking, like rushes him or some shit, and Fade just kicks him in the stomach and just cripples that man on the ground. He's a straight gut buster, bro, and he makes him kiss his shoe. He's like, you embarrassed our family. He is like, kiss my shoe and we'll be even type shit. So he kisses his feet and he sons him. He bitches him. And yeah, so him just, he had a very, he's not in it as much as I thought he would be. He's in it a good amount, but just not as much as I thought. But I like his character because he's like I saw a good point in this article I read. First off, he's like direct opposite of Paul before he gets into his Anakin Skywalker bag. He's a direct opposite of Paul. Like, he's a fucking lunatic. He's fucking bald. He's like looks like a sperm. He just like is a crazy person, but he's like smart and shit. But he's just like, he's the complete opposite of Paul. And like I said, the point in the article was like, before he was like the opposite, but then now by the end of the movie, he shows like as a warning of what Paul would like turn into as he embraces like the Harkonnen side and whatnot. But it's just like, bro, I really liked his performance. It was really fun. He got to really ham it up, and then like when him and Paul eventually clash, bro, that was a fight, bro. That was the fight where I told you I was like gripping my girlfriend's hand, because when Paul got stabbed, I was like, oh fuck, bro, it's cooked, bro. He's cooked, bro. How is he gonna get out of this? And he pulled some fucking MW2 shit, and he took the knife that he was stabbed with and was gripping the fucking other knife. Oh my gosh, that he was about to get stabbed in his throat, and he stabs the fucking sperm guy with the dagger, bro. That was really, bro. I can't even put into words, bro. He really just did some fucking soap MW2 shit. It was fire, bro. It was fire. That fight was really, and they were really throwing them bitches too. They was really getting busy, bro. They were getting busy. Fucking Paul pulled out this fucking spin, this side spin, like triple spin move. Oh my gosh, bro. I need to see that fight again, bro. They were really throwing them bitches. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that fight was really gripping, and I think that honestly, I literally said to my girlfriend, I think that fight solidified me liking Dune enjoyable wise. I think they're like quality, like I said, they really match each other really well, but like from pure enjoyment wise, I think that really put it Dune 2 over Dune 1 for me. Like, that fight really hammered it home, bro. Yeah, I just really like the Harkonnens inclusion. So my main, I think, biggest nitpick gripe is how, I guess, okay, this is a nitpick because Fade, like, he gave me the battle the Harkonnens that I wanted to see, but it was just kind of sucked to see Batista's character go out so sad, especially like he just seemed that was the fraud, bro. He was a fraud, and I wish him and Josh Brolin's character had a bit more longer battle. Like, Josh Brolin just kind of walked up on him and stabbed him, so it's just like I wish that was a little bit more something. But I think the point being was like he's a fucking fraud. Like, he got bitched by his brother. Like, he was getting you just going on these yelling tinter tantrums and shit. So I feel like that was the point. But then also with the Baron, I feel like he went out like a bitch too type shit. Like I wish we got a little bit more. He's just like, and I'm saying this because of the presence that they had in the first movie. It was just so mysterious, and it was like, damn, bro, like the niggas. I guess like that thing on his back, on his spine, I thought it was like a exoskeleton that makes him like fucking like stronger or some shit. But I guess that's a breathing apparatus, and I don't know. I just felt like they would have did more by the end of their lives type shit. And so super small nitpick, but I like that they got their comeuppance, and then Fade gave the fight that the Harkonnens were, I guess, known, the brutality and shit that the Harkonnens are known for. I really like Fade's like introduction too. I like how he got that, he really showed his true colors with his first fight and turned his shield off and really got busy with the one guy. So was that like that arena fight? Was he gonna just fight 3 drugged prisoners and just dispatch them easily, and the crowd was gonna go crazy? Like, were they gonna? That was gonna be fun to them. That was gonna be fun for Fade. Like, I don't know. It was really fun, and I like how it was like kind of a test from his uncle to see what if he was really about that action. But yeah, Lady Jessica though, and the Bene Gesserit, that was just it was kind of weird, and it's like how she was just talking to her baby inside the womb the whole time. But and then it's revealed that his sister's gonna grow up to be fucking, what's her name? Hold on. What was her name? I'm blanking on her name. Anya Taylor-Joy. That's gonna be his sister growing up, because we see her in a vision. And again, that's just a possible future. So I don't know if that's gonna come into fruition. But you see her on Arrakis with water and shit. So eventually, I guess they do release because there's a plot point where they collected the water from all of a lot of the freemen and shit that have died for centuries, and they just have a canals of water, millions. He says like decameters or some shit, like of miles of like water and shit, and that could literally turn Arrakis from a sand planet to like a green ocean planet type shit. And so they're sitting on that. And what was I saying with that? Oh yeah, that's where you see Anya Taylor-Joy's his Paul's sister grown up, seeing and whatnot. But yeah, the Bene Gesserit, I really like their agenda, like the Lady in Black Bene Gesserit, when at the end of the movie where Lady Jessica says, "Oh, you picked the wrong side," and she's just like, she doesn't even care that she lost, and that like quote unquote lost. She's just like, there are no wrong sides. Like she said in the first movie, their plans are generational long. Like Fade, and then I didn't even mention with Fade, he's also a project a potential candidate to be the Quitta Hazarak or whatever, the main power. And so if he would have killed Paul, that would just been another step in the Bene Gesserit's plan, and he would have just been the new main guy going forward. So it was just like, she was just like, whatever, like that just wasn't the route, but there's multiple routes that they planned, and so she wasn't even tripping that she was not the main lady anymore. So I just thought that was really cool too. What else? Oh yeah, it's with like Josh Brolin's character, Gurney, and like how he was like, he wants, and again, like to say on the point of, he wants to see Paul go to war. He wants to see him take that charge, take that lead, and that claim of House Atreides. Like he wants to see that, and so it's just like, damn, bro. Like everyone around Paul is just like pushing him to be this thing, this tool of destruction. Zendaya's character. So I really like her inclusion. Again, I was saying in the spoiler-free section, I like how this movie, they didn't like linger on Paul's like development with the Freeman. Like it wasn't a slow burn. Like we saw him quickly get the hang of things. We saw him quickly develop, and it wasn't like too quickly. It was just like, honestly, it was like perfectly placed type shit, and just like how that leads into like everything in the South, and like how that all comes ahead at the end of the movie. Like it was all I feel like really worthwhile and really good development. and took its time, but also like went fast type shit. It was really well balanced. Like I was saying, I really liked. There's a lot more action, like right off the bat. You get this really, really great scene of the Harkonnens using. Oh, again, this will come in later. I really like the tech, but you see them using their little, which was really, really. I really like this like tech. It's like this anti-gravity, like close to surface thing, like where maybe I think it reduces the gravity around you, so you're able to float on surfaces. So like they're climbing this mountain to, they're trying to track down the Freeman and whatnot, and they just get sniped out when they get on top of the mountain, and then like Paul Atreides is at the base of the mountain, and he's hiding, and you just get bodies drop and like thud on the ground. It was a really good moment, again highlighting the sound design. When those bodies hit the ground, it was a really impactful thud, and I really enjoyed that. With some other action beats. Let me pull up the trailer actually, just to see if I see any images that jog my memory. Let me see. Like I said, I really like how the images of the visions in the first movie really came to a head, and you really got to see that unfold and whatnot. That was fire shit. Or like I really like their hiding in the ground tactics, and like oh yeah, another action scene, like they were saying, like, or like I was saying, like they were attacking, not like I was saying, I haven't mentioned it, but they were attacking the spice ships and stuff, and they were hiding in the sand and whatnot, and they would have these helicopter things, the helicopters like with gunners on them, but they had like this tri gun that shot like three like a three burst thing at the. It was really, the sound design on it was really cool, and like the way like shot was really cool. So that was just a really cool like sci-fi edition. And then like when they shoot, I guess I just get into the tech and shit. When they shoot their missiles and shit, and like stuff have like the shields on them, they're like, and they have to like to get past the shields, you have to slowly go through them, and like a quick hit won't do that. It will just deflect. And so once they shoot at the rockets at stuff that has the shield, and they slowly burrow, they explode inside the shield, and it's like this contained explosion at first, and then it like blows up the whole thing. It's just it's a cool effect. I really like that a lot. I really like we got to see like how in the first movie we got to see the Harkonnens give the House Atreides the fucked up like shit equipment to like harvest spice and whatnot, and you see like more updated spice harvesters and stuff, and just how it just really more plays into this. You see how they set them up for failure, and then when they come back, they get the good actually good equipment. That was also, I mentioned like one of my favorite scenes was when Paul goes to the South for the first time, and he's just walking like he's ready to stand on business. But when he gets on into like the temple or whatever, and like he's convincing the non-believers, and he's like, "Oh, I know your grandma, like her history and shit," and he gives him the spiel, and that nigga's like, he instantly falls to his knees and just like, "Oh, I believe," and he does that to a couple more people, and it's just like, again, it's just Paul is a bad guy. Like he knows this shit is fake, but he's using his future seeing abilities to that's been fully awakened by the liquid death or whatever, to play on these people's suspicions and beliefs. And so it's just a fucked up it's a fucked up moment, but it's just so fucking fire just seeing him do that, and like him take that like that stance, bro, and really embrace, like he says, the Harkonnen vibes. And it's just, again, you're not supposed to be rooting for Paul, but I'm sorry, bro, he's cool as shit. Oh yeah, he's a Fade. He's a freak boy. He's a freakazoid for sure. But yeah, I gotta watch this movie again, bro. I gotta watch it again. Yeah, it's crazy what they show in the trailer, and just like there's a lot of stuff's like out of context, but when you see the shit in the trailer, it's actually some like really big stuff. The riding the sandworms was filthy as shit. Not really sure how that works completely. But yeah, that's really fun. Again, like the set, I didn't even mention this, but I should have mentioned this in non-spoilers, but the set designs and everything fucking fire. I really want to watch some behind the scenes stuff with this, but bro, Paul, I gotta see the last half of this movie again, bro. Because Paul, he really, oh my fucking goodness. This shot when this, it's like this, they showed in the trailer, but when this shot in context, bro, when he's walking to the south, I mentioned this already, but I didn't even like mention this. He has like the sand crawler or the sandworm fucking behind him, like kicking up dust, and this is like this more grayish type of vibe, and the music during it. Oh my, I gotta watch this movie again, bro. I look, you want to watch it today? No cap, probably not though. But I might go on $5 Tuesday. Oh fuck, I'm pretty busy on Tuesdays. Fuck, I gotta make some time to see this movie again. It's just, man, I really fun experience, bro. No dilly. But yeah, and then like when Zendaya, so I'll get, hold on. Let me get back to the tech. And so you got the Trigun helicopter gun, whatever. I really like the lasers in this. They're like super destructive and super like pinpoint. I don't know. It's just very satisfying to see. Especially even in the first movie when like Duncan Idaho was flying the plane and shit. He had that laser on his ass. Like that was really cool, and it cutting through the door. But we got to see a bit more examples of them using the laser, and I really like how precise it is. The anti-gravity jetpacks and the bombs. There's like these magnetic like landmine plates, like these. It was like these giant flat surfaces things, or these like landmines, and they would activate magnetically, and they would just fly towards their target. It was really again satisfying to see. Is there anything else? Let me see. Yeah, I think all in all, bro, just seeing Paul's journey and his descent to the darkness was really gas, and I'm really excited to see where Dune 3, Dune Messiah goes. I seen some. I seen some like minor spoilers. I'm not gonna bring that up for Dune 3. It just okay. I will say this though, not spoilery for Dune 3. It's gonna be interesting to see how they set up that narrative and how that goes from what I've seen and how it plays out, and like how this movie was a direct continuation of the first. Like how is that gonna be structured for the third movie? Because that's not necessarily the case. And so yeah, I hope it's gonna be as satisfying, which I have hope that it's gonna be as satisfying as these two movies. But yeah, Paul's my new Anakin Skywalker, bro. I fuck with him tough. Sorry, not sorry. Fuck the Space Federation or whatever they're called, the Spacing Guild. Let's bring it all down, brother. Let's burn it all down. Is there anything else? I just really want to get everything out for this movie because I really, really enjoyed it. I don't think there is, to be honest. And we got to wrap up soon. So yeah, we're going to move on. Yeah, we're at, just talking about it, I think I'm at like a 9.5. Again, gotta see it again to really solidify that, but I think I'm at a 9.5, no keys. But yeah, that's it on Dune 2. Really enjoyed it. Go check it out for show. And we're gonna go into the weekly watch list before we get ready to wrap it up. But yeah, this week I actually checked out quite a few things. I added Wolverine versus Predator on here, but I think I talked about that already, and I didn't finish it. But manga, I said I checked out a new manga. I checked out Poon Poon. Good Night Poon Poon. It's a really emotionally heavy story. It's about like this kid and this journey through him like as a kid in elementary to like I guess his early 20s. I haven't finished them on chapter like 10 or something. There's like 100 and something chapters. Like one closer to like 170 or something. But it's just like, it's like a coming of age story, but it's just really like his parents are abusive towards, or his dad's abusive to his mom, and I guess it's just coming of age and some real life shit type of deal. And it's kind of sad. It kind of took a break from it because it was kind of sad. But yeah, I'm really liking it though. I think I'm gonna finish it. It's not too long. 170 chapters, not too long. Baby Tron, he released a mixtape. I was kind of late on it. I think a week late or so. Maybe not. I'm not stretching. But yeah, it's called Case Dismissed. I really fucked with this one tough, no cap. Let me go to it real quick. I think he went, how many songs is this? Bro, why is my phone tweaking, bro? Stuff is taking hella long to load. I'm literally on my Wi-Fi. Bro. Alright. He how many tracks is this? I don't know. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Usually it says 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so he went in the playlist. He went 11 for 13. Overall, though, I think he went 12 for 13. So there's a song called Hood Rap, which is on here twice, but has a different beat. And the first beat is like, or whatever. It was like it wasn't a bad. It was like, okay, this is a Tron song. Like it's cool. Just like on the average side of things, on his like comparatively to his stuff. And then but then it has a different beat. And the second beat really fucking turned it into one of my favorite songs in the on the what's it called, album. But my favorite songs, though, all of them are pretty solid, but my favorite songs are Kill the Noise, Hood Rat, and La La Land. So that's my favorite shit. Go check that out, or go check out those tracks and go from there, whatever. And then also this week I mentioned during the James Gunn stuff, with the new logo and stuff, I read Kingdom Come. It's 4 issues. I really liked it. It was the art. Who's the story by? I think Mark Wade. And the art is by Alex Ross, and the art is really, really fucking phenomenal. The designs are really interesting, like of the characters and whatnot. So in some are that's not necessarily, some are good, some are bad, but at the very least they're all interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of twisting, not even a lot of twists and turns, but there's quite a few things in that story that just like took me by surprise. But yeah, I really liked it a lot. But yeah, I started watching the new season of Abbott Elementary. That's starting off pretty solid, fucking great show. I started Shogun, so this is on Hulu, and it has some. So I thought this was gonna be like it is, but I thought this was gonna be like a typical like period piece show, like something like the Vikings, like I don't know, like on what is it, like Discovery or some shit. And like they have like a pirate show, so I thought it was gonna be like that. But I did have a couple actors that I really enjoyed. I think one of them was in Godzilla Legacy. No, not Legacy. Godzilla Monarch, or no, Monarch Legacy. God damn. But it's set in the Godzilla like MonsterVerse universe with King Kong and stuff. I think she was in there. She was really good. I'm not even done with the first like episode. I only got like 20 minutes in, but I was really liking it a lot. It had some really solid reviews, which that was what prompted me to go check it out. But the main actor, fuck, I'm blanking on his name, but he's super solid whenever I see him and stuff. I think he was in John Wick 4, I believe. So yeah, that's super solid, or what I've seen so far is solid, and I plan to stick with it. But I might get into it today, because some stuff has been on the back burner and whatnot. And then I started reading Ultimate Spider-Man again. In the previous Ultimate Universe, not the new one, but I took a break on it because I was gonna do. I still kind of plan to. I was gonna do a video on the Ultimate Universe, but I don't know. We'll see if that's still gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna just do an overall, just how weird the Ultimate Universe is, or if I'm just gonna talk about Spider-Man, whatever the case. But I started reading that again. It's really, really fun. Just got done with the Venom, or maybe it's not done, but Venom and Eddie Brock stuff. And I'm with, right now it's kind of just Peter. He's just trying to figure some shit out. He ain't got a costume right now, and yeah. And so been doing that, and then I started reading Ultimate X-Men again, because I was reading all of the Ultimate Universe, but then the Avengers, the Ultimates, it just didn't really grab me. It's kind of like, it's early 2000 stuff, and I was just really not feeling it. But the X-Men, I really like that, and then Spider-Man, I really like that, and then I'm gonna read Fantastic Four when that appears, so I can get the whole, like, what the maker's deal is, and he's like the maker of the new Ultimate Universe, so gonna get his deal and whatnot. And then I'm obviously reading the Spider-Man stuff. I might have to fucking read the Ultimate shit, but I'm trying to avoid that because it's not really good to me. But yeah, that's really it on the weekly watch list. So as we go into Pondering My Orb, bro, honestly, I really don't have anything for this, bro. It's just lock the fuck in. That's what it is, bro. You know what you gotta do, just lock in, bro. Same with me. I know what I gotta do to lock in. I just been sloughing, bro. Sloughing on editing and whatnot. Bro, it's just hard to maximize that in between time, bro. You really, really have to be focused, bro. You have to be focused, bro, because obviously you got your other responsibilities, and that in between time that you get, where you just want to relax, be on your phone, watch some shit, like, chill out. You gotta be maximizing that time to do your extracurriculars, bro. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead. Whether that's even like just making more money on the side, bro. You gotta maximize that time, bro. That's how you get ahead. You're not gonna get ahead by doing the same shit over and over again. You're not gonna get ahead by not taking new risks, bro. You have to, bro. You gotta to get to a different place in life, you gotta do some shit that you ain't ever done before. You feel me? You're not gonna get anywhere just doing the same shit. For the most part. Obviously, there's nuance to that. There's case by case, but for the most part. So that's my shit, bro. Just gotta lock in. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. So next week, I think the Spaceman, the Adam Sandler movie I've been talking about, I think that, let me see, I think that drops next week. So there's a couple stuff on Netflix and on streaming stuff that drops next week. So I'll be reviewing something most. Oh damn, this is not good reviews. What the fuck? 5.8 on IMDb, 51 on Rotten Tomatoes, 56 Metacritic. When does this come out? Oh wait, what? This came out February. Is this the Adam Sandler one, right? Hold on. No. Wait, this isn't. No, it is. So, wait, what? I don't see Adam Sandler on this, though. Hold on. Thought this was coming out in March. Huh? I'm confused. It says February 23rd. Before its streaming debut. Oh, theatrical release. Oh, limited. I didn't even know this. It received a limited theatrical release on February 23rd. Before its streaming debut by Netflix on March 1st. So, yeah, I might review this, but there was also something. There was something. So, yeah, it might be a review next week. Maybe not. Maybe a topic episode. We'll see. I'm trying to make a review, but, yeah. Well, yeah. We'll see. But, yeah, follow me on my socials. I'm actually turning my YouTube Twitter account into my podcast account because I don't post as much on my YouTube stuff, and I can just post that on my main account, but I'm post more frequently and gonna post clips and stuff for my podcast. So I'm gonna be using that more. So if you want to engage with me and the podcast and get that ball rolling, check out. I'll have the link in the description. Check out my podcast Twitter it's at DS2 Smooth right now, but I'm gonna change the at. But it's at DS2 Smooth YT YouTube, or type in What Did I Miss podcast. But yeah, I'm gonna change the app, but check that out. Link will be below. And so yeah, and then follow my main account on Twitter at DS2 Smooth. That's where I am the most active, or talk about comic book stuff. I like to post about like the comics I've recently got or what I'm reading. Other Twitter things. So follow me on there. Let's get the ball rolling on that. And follow me on Instagram at DS2 Smooth, on TikTok at DS2 Smooth. And I think that's all the socials. Yeah, I think so. But yeah. That's that on that. So I'll catch you guys next week. See ya. Twos.